Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, episode number 83 on a Monday night, a late one tonight. So apologies in advance if there's any snoring on set, but here we are. I'm Tony, and as usual, my co-host, Ben, are you there?
I'm here, mate. How are you?
All good, mate. And James, are you there?
I'm here, Tony.
Let's hope the internet holds up this week, and we have an unedited version. Hopefully, seeing as we're going to be editing this very, very late at night. So we will delve straight in to the teams, mate. And first up this week, Ben, top of the shop. There you go. Let's have a look at your 11 this week, mate.
Let's have a ganders. All right, 24 points. Not very good.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Completely missed the goals up front this weekend. I got Haaland, nil point. Martinelli, nil point. And Scamacca, nil point.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ouch.
In midfield, I got Bowen, 0. De Bruyne, 0. Foden, 3. And Mount, 12 points. I brought him in for Alexander-Arnold on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And then in defence, I've got Saliba, who I brought in for Sessegnon after not playing on the weekend. Didn't even bring him on for the couple of minutes or anything. It's gutted. Brought on Ollie Skip, didn't he? And then he brought on Jed Spence.
Yeah.
So a bit worried about minutes for Sessegnon. And I wanted to get some Arsenal coverage at the back. Saliba's looking like a good pick. I'm a bit gutted. He only got 4 points. Like he got a yellow card, but
yeah, he did.
Still got a clean sheet after Leeds absolutely pummeled them.
Oh, well, watching that game, it's unreal. How Leeds didn't score, I have absolutely no idea.
Arsenal were very lucky, weren't they?
Very, very lucky.
It's the first game that they've lost XG this season. Arsenal.
It's not surprising.
Leeds
it must have been through the roof.
Goals,
yeah.
According to the XG. Cancelo, 0 points. And Emerson Palmieri, 0 points. West Ham again conceding a very strange goal. Like, you see that the referee stood in the way of Bowen and he was about to get the ball. And then it comes to Perrault and he scores. And Bowen's going, come on, you've got to stop the game and start.
Yeah.
Like, give us a free kick or something. And then on Thursday night as well, Palmieri started in that game as well in the Europa League. And they were 2-0 up with like minutes to go. And then there was a penalty given against Ben Johnson. And I thought it was very harsh. And he was going to the referee, VAR. And they're going, no VAR in the paint trophy, mate. Yeah, there's no VAR in the Conference League.
Sponsors aren't paying enough for that shit.
I know. So that's cost me 10 points there, really, if you think about it. When he started at the weekend, I thought I'll keep him in because I think he'll get minutes in the Europa Conference League as well.
Yeah.
With West Ham being through, and he's like second choice left back, so should get minutes. De Gea in goal for 5 points, clean sheet. That's not much going on, really. Still got one transfer left. But
could have been different, couldn't it? With West Ham, obviously they absolutely battered Southampton.
Yeah.
It could have been a little bit different if Bowen and Scamacca had at least notched a goal.
Scamacca could have had a hat trick.
Yeah.
He was very close with a good three shots.
On another day. One transfer left in that, mate.
Yeah.
Saving that for any injuries.
Yeah, it looks like it now. Saving it for an injury. Like I said, I did look at the old De Bruyne Okie Kokie with Kane but it cost me 2 transfers. So I bottled it, and I thought I'll save me transfers. And then when Sessegnon didn't get any minutes, I thought I'll get Saliba hopefully for 2 matches.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like I said, then 4 points could have been better, couldn't they?
Yeah.
But they was battered. They were very lucky to get away with that clean sheet, to be honest. Missed penalty, disallowed goal, chance after chance after chance in that game.
Yeah.
Right, James. On to yours, mate.
Yeah, not too bad really. 52 points. Quite reasonably happy with that. It could have been better. I was going to bring in Mount, but there was quite a lot of speculation on Twitter about whether he was going for there was rumours he was going for a scan and all sorts of stuff. So
Scared me shitless.
I can't. I'd already brought Mount into quite a few sides, and I just thought, I'll go Saka instead. So that cost me a few points because it was only because there was just a little bit of doubt there, and I thought, well, I can't. This was on the Friday, I think I made these transfers. I just thought I can't risk it because I used both my transfers. So I did Sterling to Saka and Trent to Cancelo.
So you're the one that's jinxed Cancelo.
Well, I thought Trent was going to be out for a couple of weeks, and he bloody came on, didn't he?
It's crazy.
Came on for the 89th minute or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, snuck 5 points, didn't he?
I wouldn't have made that move if I'd known. Obviously, I thought Trent was going to be out longer, and I thought, well, this is a chance to get Cancelo. Because obviously City have been pretty good at the back, and Cancelo, has been racking up the points. But yeah, so there were my 2 transfers, 52 points, which I'm quite happy about. Kepa, who have now got in all of my sides, believe it or not, mainly for Lloris, and he's been doing blindingly for me. A star man this week, 13 points. And did you see the saves he made? Oh my god!
I was watching that first half live. He were unbelievable.
He's definitely number one. If he, I can't. Surely Potter can't rotate now. I mean, I thought he would be number one anyway. I know a lot of people were a little bit cautious about that, but I went for it. And I'm happy with that. So Cancelo got me 0. Nice one, Cancelo. I'm not too upset about that this week, to be honest. Tsimikas got me 5. Cucurella got me 5. Sessegnon got me nothing. Saka got 8. Bowen got 0. Odegaard got 5. Foden 3. Kane 13. And Haaland 0. So 52 points. Pretty happy with that. Not too many City players because obviously they're blanking next. Pretty happy with 52. No transfers left though, which is a bit of a concern. I would like to have got rid of Sessegnon, but I thought I had other priorities. As it turned out, I could have made other moves, but there you go. That's the way it rolls.
Yeah, he's played well when I've seen him Sessegnon as well. He's unlucky not to be getting a bit more game time. I'm sure he'll probably play midweek, whether that's a start for Perisic or nobody comes on.
Well, Doherty seems to be back in favour now. Did you see Conte's comments about Doherty saying, "Oh, this is the player I had last season is back now," and I know they play on different sides, but Perisic can play on both, so it doesn't. I'm not saying it will affect Sessegnon's ability for minutes, but I don't think it helps.
No,
because Perisic can switch to the other side anyway. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I'm stuck with him for till the next set of transfers anyway. So I'm hoping he does well.
He might come good for you. On to my side, 56 points this week. So not too bad of a week. I think that's about a decent score, I think, for this week, from what I've seen knocking around. Kepa, like I said, James, I'm not too sure how many teams I've got him in, about 6 6. I probably took the punt on, and I did swap out. I think that was 6 Llorises that came out for that as well, just for the money. And like you said, there was a bit of cautiousness about, is he number one? Is he going to be nailed? Is Mendy going to come back in? But it was a time to take the punt. It was the right time, because obviously his value's just going up. And since then, he's scored something like 30 odd points, hasn't he, since?
Yeah, he's done amazingly in the last few games, yeah.
Unreal. And he basically won Chelsea that game, the weekend. Unbelievable. So, yeah, 13 points from him. Akanji got me -1 in a defeat to Liverpool. Sessegnon did not play. Dow, who keeps ticking along quite nicely, actually, 8 points. 2 more signings that I made this weekend, or Thursday night, I think, with the price rises. Took out Odegaard and Sergio Gomez and put in Saka and Mount. Saka got me 8 points. De Bruyne 0, Foden 3 points, Mount 12 points. Didn't take long to get my lad Mason in there, did it? What, we're on game week 10. He's back in there, performing well under Potter. Looks revitalised as a lad.
Just in time for his first 2 Premier League goals of the season.
That's it. Excellent. Haaland 0 points. Kane 13 points. Lovely. And Jesus 0 points. I was surprised he even played. Brings 56 points, 613 points in total. 2 transfers remaining in this side. I did look at moving Sessegnon, but I want to keep the 2. I think Sessegnon will probably get some minutes against United. So
he's a good price, isn't he?
Yeah, he's tricky.
Yeah, he should
tricky
get
price
minutes in other matches.
Yeah, so I'm just going to sit tight with him and hold the 2 just in case of the injuries, or there's someone, a certain Mo Salah, who might start going back into people's thoughts, and if his ownership starts rising, I might have to start to look into that. And I don't want to be in a position where I'd have to take out Kane to get to Salah. I don't want to do that. If I'm going to bring in Salah, it will be for my 3rd striker other than Haaland and Kane, I think. Because I know there's been a lot of talk about if somebody's left there with 1 transfer, that is going to be the move that they'll be making, I think, will be Kane to Salah. So, but Kane's in my team for the long haul, I think.
Just a slight correction on what I said. I did actually I made my transfers on Friday, but it was at 1:00 in the morning. I was like, why would I have done that on Friday? And then I remembered I was up till stupid o'clock doing all 10 teams, trying to get back in the game.
Yeah, busy night, Thursday night. Friday morning.
Friday morning, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we are pretty happy with that. The podcast team doing all right. For a change. Right. Over to the listeners' questions. And first up, Lee Hooper. A lot of talk about rivals and rivals' teams, etc. But at the moment, are we not better off focusing on our own individual teams and not worrying about who other people are having leagues? Or does that depend on whether it's a small mini league, a big league, or a leaderboard? I'm trying hard to focus on my teams and not worry about others in any leagues at the moment, as it's so early on. James?
Yeah, it's too early, in my opinion, to be focusing on what other people are doing. Play your own game. Let other people worry about each other's teams. I don't. I used to spend hours looking at see what everyone else was doing and stuff. I don't bother anymore. I just keep focusing on what I'm doing. I suppose if it's really close between me and a rival, I might start tracking what they're doing and maybe do something a bit different. But yeah, I wouldn't be focusing too much on that at this stage. That said, if the Patreon Cup is a bit different, I would definitely be checking rivals for that, because obviously it's a head-to-head for that week. So that's definitely where, if you've got a cup game, then it's worth checking your rival if you've got spare transfers, that is, because you can sort of maybe mitigate against who they've got, or bring somebody in, a big hitter in that they haven't, etc.
Yeah. Do you reckon, Ben?
Covered it very well, James. Just concentrate on your own team. Try and make the right decisions, and don't worry about your rivals. It's too early yet. Just keep trying to make the right moves, and you'll do well. Which you are doing well anyway, aren't you, Lee?
I think
it's good.
every one of Lee's teams is higher than mine.
He's
at the
top
moment.
of all the mini leagues.
Yeah, he's flying in. He's got at least 4 or 5 that are doing very, very well. Yes, you don't have to be worrying about other people, Lee. Just keep doing what you're doing, mate. You're doing all right. You're making the right calls. Obviously, that shows in your points tally. I think it'll be other people having to worry about your team later on in the season. Right, Connor. This question was asked before the Liverpool game, but it's still valid. This one is on behalf of all my fellow Simicast owners. What are your guys' thoughts on Simicast now Robertson is back? He's a decently high price, 3.4 for a bench rotation player. So is it worthwhile to move him on? And same can be said for Sergio Gomez at 4 million. As a follow-up to that, are there any players who haven't played so far this week that you guys would look to swap Gomez to, as he didn't get subbed on? What do you reckon, Ben?
I think Tsimikas is still a good hold. When Robertson was fit before, he was still coming on and making a 30-minute cameo in games, and he was playing in Europe and that, starting in Europe. So he's still a good hold. Like 3.4 million, there's not many decent players around there. You could maybe go to Saliba, Cucurella. Doherty might be putting his hand up now. The way Conte embraced him after the game, during the game when he come off, he looked dead happy with him. And like you said in the comments, you said this is the Doherty that I wanted back, the same as last season.
Yeah.
Ake could be a shout if he keeps playing. Like he's a bit similar to Tsimikas though, because he'll be like coming off the bench and playing the odd game, especially with City being through. He should play the European games at least. Obviously Dalot as well. Dalot's quite handy because he plays most games.
Yeah.
But that's for Tsimikas, and with Sergio Gomez, I'd definitely be thinking about taking him out. With he'll be suspended for the game against Dortmund next week. That's next week. Yeah, it's next week. Yeah, so be suspended for that. You could maybe go to Kanji, who seems to be playing anywhere in the back four. He seems to be starting at all the games, or even Chalobah is 3.8 million. And for the player to bring in, there really isn't much out there. I had a look. Zinchenko, if he's back midweek, but he's 3.6 million. You probably don't want to gamble on him yet. You want to see him play a few games, so he's not injury, bit injury prone so far this season.
Yeah.
You could maybe drop down to Sessegnon. He hasn't paid 2.4 million. So if you wanted to put some money up for, if you want to start looking at bringing in the 3 big hitters up front, like Tony was going on about before, you could bring Sessegnon in for this week if he starts midweek.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much out there, is there, to replace Gomez for this week? What do you reckon, James?
Well, funny enough, I'm not quite as bullish on Tsimikas as Ben. I think the fact that Robbo came straight back into the side against City tells me he's still firmly number one. And you got to remember at the start of the season when Tsimikas was coming on, it's because we had a lot of injuries, and there was no one out. And he is an attacking option, but when we still got injuries, but when there are other players like Carvalho and Elliott to come on, I'm not 100% convinced on the minutes that he will get. I'm sure he will come on, but I don't know how often that will be. I would be looking out for a replacement. I'm not saying you've got to ship him immediately, but keep your eye out for I think there's probably better options out there.
Yeah.
As far as players who haven't played so far this week, I was going to say Thiago Silva, but I think I read that he's got like a hamstring issue at the moment, so that's definitely one to keep an eye on.
He played.
Sorry?
He played at the weekend.
Yeah, but I think he's got a since then he's got potential hamstring problem. But so keep an eye on the injuries for that one.
Did he go off? Did he go off, or is that since the game?
I think that was since the game. I'm not sure. I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, so keep an eye on those team sheets for that one anyway.
I know Cucurella went off at half time, did he?
Yeah.
They had to shuffle it because Villa were all over him. So I know they brought on Nazpilicueta and
Koulibaly.
Yeah.
So Silva played the full game.
It looks like most of their assets played. So seeing as they did that double change at half time. You're struggling for a replace. You'd be scraping the barrel to replace him this week. I think Gomez should have been gone last Thursday. I think that was the time to get rid. He only had the Liverpool game, obviously, then the blank, and then there were a Premier League game at the weekend. Who is against? Who City got this weekend? Can't think off the top of my head. They got a Premier League game, and then Gomez were then suspended for
Brighton.
So they got Brighton. So you had the Liverpool game, the Brighton game, and they were suspended for the Dortmund game. So in the 2 weeks, he were only possibly playing Brighton, Liverpool. Liverpool were always going to score. That's what I thought anyway. So he only left the Brighton game. So I got him out of all my teams. Now you're better off waiting for a better option for the Thursday evening.
There is one other player that I don't believe started at the weekend, which was Kurt Zuma. If you're desperate to fill that gap, he only had a cold, so I would expect him to be back soon. But West Ham don't look overly solid, although they were like Ben said earlier, they were unlucky to lose that clean sheet because of the ref getting in the way of Bowen. So and they've got Liverpool next, so proceed with caution. But I think he might be back, so that is one you could look at. But you're scraping the barrel there, like Tony said.
Yeah, you're better off waiting now, Connor. Tsimikas as well. Just to add to the Tsimikas debate is if Robertson obviously he's been out for a little while, so maybe he's only going to be 70, 80 minutes. And obviously it's a little bit different against City. Want to be kept on the pitch, but maybe they're going to manage his minutes a little bit better against some of the lesser sides.
Yeah, you might have a point there. Yeah,
possibly. But like I say, Robertson is number one. He's going to be playing 98% of them games.
Tsimikas has only missed 2 games this season. He's played in every other game.
Let's say a lot of the defence has been out.
With these 5 points you get for just making 1-minute appearances and Liverpool being one of the top sides, look like they're back on track now.
Yeah.
So I just don't think there's much, like there's bigger things to think about at the minute, for me anyway.
It's a big result for Liverpool, and it does shake things up a little bit, because for confidence-wise, it's massive. Clean sheet as well. Gomez be absolutely buzzing after that. Good performance for him. Milner, unbelievable at right back. Unbelievable. For his age, and you could go on, but confidence-wise, it's great for him. Obviously, they need to follow that up against West Ham, so that'll be an interesting one. Then, if they do a bit of a number on West Ham, beat them comfortably, I think then we're going to start sitting up and taking notice again. Then
it's Forest after that.
Yeah, exactly, and
Leeds.
It'd be a scary time not to have Salah. It would be behind the sofa stuff that. But yeah, one to watch. Right, Gazzy's right on. It's been on. Any advice for players who aren't flying high, please? Obviously, budget not as good as the leaders. Had a great season last year, sitting late teens, early 20s in my league. Frustrated, similar to James. Cheers. So, James, you got some advice?
Yeah, don't give up, basically. Is my first piece of advice. Keep plugging away. If you're trying to gain ground on your rivals, you might need to get some differential players, but get them in before they do, obviously. So, for example, like I was saying, I brought Kepa in, and he's got me hatfuls of points.
Yeah.
Top scoring keeper in the last 3 or 4 games, I think. Mason Mount, players like that were lowly owned. If you get on them quicker than everyone else, you'll get those nice price rises. You'll close the gap. You'll close in terms of points and price. So just keep going, mate. Everyone has a bad season from now and again.
It's true, mate. Ben?
Yeah, completely agree. Just keep making the right decisions, picking the players you think will score the points. Don't go up and pick anyone like outrageous you think for a punt, because it's going to come back and bite you on the arse. Just pick the players that get the points every week, your consistent ones, season after season. Then your team will start picking up points, mate, definitely.
Yeah. You got to have them players in that just plod on and pick up all them steady amount of points. The steady players like your De Bruyne's, your Kane's, Salah, obviously. Haaland is a shoe-in. And then you got to add that with a sprinkling of differentials, foreign players, dip in and out at the right times. Like Kepa being a really good example of snatching 30-odd points from nowhere, really. I think he's outscored a lot, not just keepers, but a lot of the top midfielders and forwards in the last few weeks. So they're the opportunities that propel you up the table. They're the ones that you have to get right. But you need to have that core of top dream team players in your side to begin with. Don't be taking too many risks, especially this early. We're only 10 game weeks in. Don't get too frustrated. Don't get down. A lot can change in just 2 or 3 game weeks. So keep cracking on, mate. Right, Aman, this is one for you. This James, is the win over City? Does that mean Liverpool are back, or is it another false dawn?
It might do. Klopp's tweaked the formation. Salah's playing more centrally. We looked great defensively, possibly partly due because Trent wasn't. They weren't pinging balls behind Trent every 5 seconds. Gomez was outstanding. Virgil van Dijk was back to his best. Alisson was Alisson. Amazing assist, by the way, Salah. And even Milner had a stonking game. Nunes didn't look too good when he came on. Jota's now injured, so we might see that central role for Salah in that more central role going forward, given some of the injuries as well. But if the question for me is what happens when Trent comes back in, because he's fantastic going forwards, and Klopp clearly loves him and wants to defend him. If you hear him in the press conferences, he's always keep defending, saying Trent can defend, etc. Even if he doesn't actually believe that, that's what he's saying. So yeah, I hope it is not a false dawn, Aman. Well, I guess we'll see. I'm still taking a watching brief on this one. I'd like to see how we set up against West Ham, and take it from there. I wouldn't mind seeing Trent in a right, sort of the right side of midfield, and keep Gomez in the centre. I don't know if Milner can play a whole season at right back though. That's the only problem. We haven't got many options there at the moment. That youngster's still having a few teething problems with injuries and stuff that we've got. So yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that one, but I'm hoping it's not a false dawn.
How young is that lad if he's still teething? My kid's been teething at 3-year-old.
He's pretty young. I can't remember. 17, 18, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah. What do you reckon, Ben? Not got an opinion. I'd have sacked Klopp even after that performance. You reckon, James?
Sack Klopp.
Yeah. Do you not see him screaming at linesman in his ear?
I'm not even going to entertain that question. We did that one.
I was going to ask you, Tony, what you thought of Klopp this week.
No, I mean, I don't like the guy. Honestly, he's bad. He's bad for the game.
He's horrible.
Honestly, I can't bear him. I mean, that image. Have you seen that image of him screaming into the linesman's face? I mean, that is that image just says it all. He's horrible. Horrible is a good word.
You want City to win the title every single year, do you? Oh, of course you do. You're a City fan.
No.
Someone's got to beat City now and again to make the league interesting.
Yeah, Arsenal are doing it all right.
Yeah, but well,
yeah, he's just such a sore loser. He's a very bitter man. There's something going on. Whether I don't know, whether he's come home and found someone sleeping with his missus or something. He's just angry about how. What was it this week? City have spent more money than us. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's like Klopp. He's moaning about City having so much money and oil money and all this stuff, and there's the rumblings now about Newcastle and stuff having all that money. The thing is, what about the likes of, I don't know, who's in the league? Burnley were in there last year. What about Burnley's budget compared to Liverpool? They've got all that money to spend. They've only got that money to spend. Is it not the same thing? Some people have more money. It's how you spend it, isn't it? You spent all that money on Núñez. City got Haaland. Hey, I tell you what, touching on Núñez anyway. We'll touch on. How did he not score that ball?
Oh, I know. He had a shocker. He played terribly. There was a couple of times when he should have passed. He didn't look good when he came on.
No,
he didn't play well. I mean, coming into a game like that, though, that's why he didn't start. He's still young. He's not ready for the big games just yet.
Is he still teething?
They're all teething. No, yeah, it was. I mean, if I were a Salah owner, I'd probably rip it telly off wall. I mean, that were horrendous. That a square ball. I mean, Salah had probably buried that 2-0. Job done. Yeah, that's probably what upset Klopp so much.
He only got a 5 as well. Salah didn't even get a 7 rating.
Yeah.
The reason Klopp got so upset was because Bernardo Silva was being a little shit. Shirt pulling, elbowing. I'm surprised the ref didn't spot that. It was plain, and that's why Klopp's got so irate.
I know, but the linesmen weren't elbowing him. A shirt pulling.
It was right in front of the bloody linesman, wasn't it? They should have picked it up. Not even VAR didn't even look at it. Well, they won't, will they? I suppose unless it's a red card or something. But no, the ref totally missed that, and that's why Klopp was having a massive paddy on the touchline.
Well, if there's one good thing come from this weekend, we don't have to watch him on touchline during this week. Sorry. So Moisey will be there on his own, won't he?
There was quite a few naughty tackles that got let go, weren't there?
There was.
Yeah.
The
referee said before the game to the managers, we're going to try and let the game go, and then obviously when there's a little pull on Fabinho when City scored, it pulled it back and said it was a foul.
Yeah,
You could go along all bleeding day doing that though. Oh, it's
Yeah,
this
you could.
full air, full. They don't do it during a match unless it's a goal. Strange.
Yeah, it is. We have digressed a little bit. Klopp. Just don't. Yeah, don't like the geezer. Right, Asbestos. The recent rhetoric around defences being that big at the back is dead. However, this weekend, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs and United all kept clean sheets, and along with that, Trent, Robbo, Chilwell are all coming back to fitness. Some of these clubs have good fixture runs coming up. Should we be starting to reconsider some of the fancy royalty that have fallen out of favour, particularly if we are behind our rivals? Really good question. Ben, what do you reckon, mate? Big at the back.
It's a scary one, really. Like, how are you gonna get the money to get the big at the back if you've got all the money in midfield and up front now? Like, obviously, if you ain't got Cancelo, then I don't know what you're doing, because every week he's banging the points in. Trent's a good option, but when you can get Foden for 5.9 million, it's the same price. It's a tricky decision, isn't it? I'd probably more siding towards Foden at the moment, the way he's playing.
Yeah.
But Trent can go and get 15-pointer with a clean sheet and a goal and an assist. You know what I mean? Again, especially with Forest coming up. So it could be a good differential.
Yeah. James?
I've switched to 3 at the back in most of my teams because there weren't many defensive points, but I'm thinking 4 at the back could be an option again. And Chilwell's not ridiculously expensive, neither's Robbo. Trent's lost a lot of value. I think there could be some merit in moving in some of the heavy hitters back in, but something I've been looking at. I brought Chilwell into a few teams because if he plays, we've seen how explosive he can be.
Yeah,
they're going to need with Reece James out, they're going to need some attacking potential from the wings. So I think Chilwell could be a really good option.
Yeah, probably come from the left-hand side as well, won't it? Seeing as, on the right-hand side, I know Sterling played there, didn't he?
Yeah, they
Sterling
switched
to the right in the last game. Yeah,
previously he was struggling there.
Left.
Yeah, they put
targeting down that side, weren't they?
After that, and they put Sterling back up front on the left-hand side.
Yeah, they were really struggling. Some balls coming in towards the back post over to where Sterling and who was on that side with him, Chalobah, and they were overloading on that side, and they were really struggling. Hence why the double change at half time. But yeah, without Reece James, it looks like most of the attacking probably come down that left hand side with Chilwell. So he's definitely one. He's probably lowly owned. One to keep an eye on. Big at the back. I think with the amount of midfield options though that are starting to show their hands as well. So if you got the big 3 up top, and then it'd be hard not to have 4 midfielders with like the likes of obviously Saka. Now we know he's on penalties, so he's a really good option now. Mason Mount played well at Chelsea. That free kick was beautiful. He takes corners. He's on a lot of set pieces. So, and then you've got Foden, De Bruyne, Bowen, obviously on penalties at West Ham. There's a lot of good options to drop to a back 4, but I do think coupling up maybe a 2 and a 2 from 2 clubs might be the way to go, and keeping 3-4-3. I think I've dropped to 3-4-3 in possibly every team, most of my teams anyway, from off the top of my head. But yeah, it's definitely. We said that it could take a few weeks, but these clean sheets, is that 3-4 in a row for Chelsea now?
4 in a row, yeah.
4 in a row. So the Chelsea train were there. the value with her as well in the defence. Chalobah only added to that value by, obviously, with the injury to Fofana, who was cheap himself. Yeah, there's some really good options at the back.
Not worried about rotation at the back so much now with Chelsea. Do you think Chalobah's going to get plenty of minutes?
I think he should do. I mean, he shows how good he is when he gets the minutes.
Yeah.
He's a very, very, very good player. If they're playing a back five with three centre halves, there is no reason he should be in that team.
Got a few goals last year, didn't he? I think when he came into the side, I think he scored 2 games on the trot, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, he did. That one were like a 30-yarder.
I'm not sure if Potter's given him the license to do that, so that's one. But we're certainly one to watch. Yeah, could be a good option.
Definitely. There's some good value around. And obviously, if it isn't a false dawn, Liverpool get their act together. Thought Rob had a decent game at the weekend. Good option again. What's he at now? Is he at 4.3? Is he?
4.4.
4.4. I mean, we know when Robertson's on fire, that's still a good price for him. So we're just watching.
He's not scored more than 7 points yet this season, though. But yeah,
no.
like you say, when he gets going.
Yeah, if he picks it up, he's one to keep an eye on, definitely. Yeah. Right, Matt Woolley. City, Liverpool, and both Uniteds seemingly are pretty much through in Europe, but they've not secured top spots or the draw seedings yet. Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal have a bit more work to do. Should we be particularly bothered about that, even if it comes to remaining October transfers? Ben?
I wouldn't worry too much about it, really. Like, obviously, your main men like your Haalands, KDB, Foden might get rested in the Champions League with City being pretty much through. Well, they're through, but they ain't nailed the top place yet because they've got to get a draw, I think, against Dortmund. But yeah, so players like that. Liverpool still fighting for first place in their group, so Salah should be still playing. But they only need a point to qualify. So if they get a draw against Ajax, they're through. But yeah, Chelsea need 10 points and other teams to draw. So they're still going to be going strong. So still, I think, Spurs need to win. Arsenal need a win, and that'll make them 12 points. So they don't, well, depend on the other result, but yeah.
They're rotating anyway, aren't they, Arsenal? Yeah. We know that, yeah.
The only team like West Ham. So, like, the reason I've kept Emerson Palmieri in my team, because I think he'll get Europa Conference minutes now because he's not first choice left back, and he can play on the left wing as well. So he's getting minutes in the league and in Europa. So you probably end up, obviously we've seen they play Areola, and they probably have like Antonio and Lanzini playing in Europa. Man United's been playing pretty strong in Europe as well. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, really. They all still need points at the moment to like win their groups.
Yeah. James?
I think Ben's nailed that one, really. I mean, like you're saying, the fringe, there might be an opportunity, rather than worrying about it, there might be an opportunity to look at some of the fringe players, like Ben said, with Emerson, because they might get more minutes when these sides are qualified. So, there might be some little gems in there that you can pick out, particularly if they're playing like a really weak, playing opposition that's far below them.
Yeah.
It might be you might get some decent hauls out of some of the more fringe players. Like Tony, you brought in Vieira, didn't you? He's gonna. I think he'll continue to get minutes in Europa, in in the Papa John's Europa Conference or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and he's done well for you, hasn't he?
yeah,
but he's not playing in the league. So, but he might do. So you're sort of giving yourself an option there, aren't you? So there can be some value to be found. So it's not there might be an opportunity there, not just a concern. I think.
Time for Mahrez.
Could be time for Mahrez, Ben.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's looking a bit. He's getting a few more minutes, isn't he?
Yeah.
Was he still on pens though? If Haaland's not on the pitch,
I think he'll be on pens if Haaland's not on pitch, unless Gundogan might go and take him because he takes them for Germany, doesn't he?
Oh, does he? Oh, okay. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, he has took a few for City in his time, and he Gundo. He didn't do it when I had him as my differential pick. Yeah, you covered that well, both his. Yeah, I need to add to that really. Right, Goo. Do you have goals with regards to growing the Discord and podcast? Do you want to answer that one, James?
Yeah. We're always looking to expand the Discord and grow the Patreon. We're constant. Me, Ben, and Tony. We speak to each other pretty much every day of the year, even on Christmas Day. I think sometimes we're messing. Times like that, we're constantly bouncing ideas around on how we can improve things. We can't share anything at the moment, but as a Patreon member, you'll be the first to hear about it if we decide to make any changes or bringing in anything new.
Yep. Cheers. Right, onwards. Dream Team Professor. If any of you did take Sal out, have you seen enough to bring him back in after the Rangers and City goals? It looks like Trent and Robertson are both back fit too. How long till you think they are back on the menu? Fixtures look good up until Napoli and Spurs. What do you reckon, James?
Yeah, I took him out of quite a few sides for the likes of Foden and KDB. I'm keeping a close eye on this now because, as I mentioned earlier, Salah played more centrally against City and it worked. And if he continues like we saw last season when Mane switched to number 9, I'm kicking myself because I missed that opportunity. I know FF Stuff made that move, and that's one of the things that propelled him up the league. So I'm thinking I'm not going to make that mistake again. If Salah plays centrally again, I think I would and it works, of course. If he plays well there, I think it could be time to get him back in. So we've got Forest next week, Ajax week after is Leeds at home, then Napoli. Napoli are looking amazing. They absolutely tore us a new one when we played them away. But we owe them one, and we need, if we've got any designs on getting that top spot, we have to beat Napoli. Then it's Spurs away at the start of November. So mixed fixtures, I'd say. A couple of short-term good ones, and then it gets a bit tougher. Leeds don't look like a pushover, but it is a home game, so definitely time to have a look at what happens against West Ham. If Salah's in that central role, does well, then it could be time to bring him back.
Yeah. Ben?
Definitely, he's whetting the appetite with him playing as a central forward now instead of out on the right wing. And obviously he's got penalties, and those fixtures short term are looking really nice. Definitely looking to get him back in somehow. I've put the money into Foden and KDB, like you just said, Cancelo. Bringing Cancelo into all my teams. So it's going to be hard. It's like a big juggling act, isn't it? Trying to get them all in. Just so many expensive players in the game this year. It's hard to get them all in at the same time, which is great.
Yeah. That's it. Keeps it mixed up a bit. Do you know what? I took him out quite early, and in some teams didn't start with him. I remember my podcast team, I didn't have Salah. I think I started with Trent and Robertson, hoping they'd cover Salah. In the end, he didn't need any of them because Liverpool started so badly. So yeah, it probably played into my favour the fact I didn't have Salah, but he's on the watch list now. He's as James says as well, playing a bit more centrally, which might freshen him up a little bit because I don't want to say he's a one trick pony because he's definitely not. He's a very, very, very good, and was it getting to a point where people knew how to defend against him? That's what you always ask when someone has a quiet period. Have they sussed Sal out? And I think you were getting frustrated. So I reckon a move to number 9 or to more to the centre might refresh him, refresh the team. Could be a really good move for all parties. So definitely one to watch. And yeah, I thought Robertson had a good game, as I just touched on earlier. Definitely on the watch list. Trent, I mean, imagine if he starts playing Trent on a wide right. He moves Sal in the middle and put Trent wide right. That'd be interesting.
I'd like to see that, yeah, because it would be interesting because when he plays, people are targeting him defensively, and it is so frustrating because he's going to get caught out. He does get either caught up the pitch or he loses concentration.
Yeah, but you want him on the pitch though because of his attacking
absolutely
assets.
Yeah.
You want him there, but you can't afford to put him at right back.
Yeah, we need to find a way to play him. Yeah. I mean, it worked last season, and let's not forget, we have been very good defensively in the past. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that's being targeted now as a weak spot. So we need to either play him further forward and someone behind, or, I mean, what Klopp tried to do the other day was get Jordan Henderson to come across. If Trent bombed up on the right, then Henderson would drop in and almost slot in it right back to cover him. I'm not sure that's the best way to do it. It still could be a bit vulnerable if we do that.
Yeah. Obviously, if you don't follow Dream Team Professor on Twitter, it's at Dream Team Prof. He does do his own little podcast where he goes over his views and stuff. So if you haven't checked that out already, give that a listen. Some real good stuff. Last question of the evening from Kian. Top 3 November transfer targets. What do you reckon, Jambo? What we on, mate?
Well, it's a bit early to be discussing it, but there's a school of thought that November transfers should be used for price rises right at the end of November, because then you get unlimited transfers as soon as the World Cup starts. So if you can get on, we've discussed that a lot already, so I won't go in any more detail on that. West Ham look to have the best fixtures in November. They start with Palace, and then they've got 2 of the worst sides in the football pyramid. Blackburn Rovers and Leicester.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Oh, you've had that one coming after the Liverpool bashing.
That wouldn't call for that.
City have got 3 home games in November. Fulham, Chelsea, and Brentford. We know what City are like at home. 3 home fixtures in November. The thing is, we've probably already got 3. We've probably got our allocation of City, but they do have some tasty fixtures. I know Chelsea's not an easy one, but they are 3 at home. Everton have got Leicester and then Bournemouth away twice, because there's some cup games in here, of course. Not sure you want to go there, though. Chelsea have... because I've been looking at the fixtures, I'll just say Chelsea have got really tough fixtures in November, so I would be avoiding those. They've got Arsenal at home, Man City away, and Newcastle away. So yeah,
9 points.
Chelsea
train, choo choo.
Yeah, I think it might be derailed in November, boys. What I would say is, all our patrons should keep an eye out for Ben's November fixture ease article that will be covering all of the teams with the best fixtures.
Yeah. Ben?
I think you covered it brilliantly there. I've not got anything to add to that. You've covered it. I was going to say it was a bit too early to start looking at November anyway. But
Yeah.
I don't think Kean's got any transfers left for this month, so he's looking at his next quarter.
Yeah. Well, looking at my podcast side, I've just wrote down 3 names that I want for the podcast side for November.
Yeah.
Kane, Salah, and Akanji. So I've got to do a bit of juggling, I think.
I'll tell you, looking at United play a double against Villa, and then Fulham in November. And Anthony, I'm not too sure how much he is. 4 million, is he?
Yeah, he's about 4 million.
About 4 million. Very attacking, loves a shot. Scored a few already. He might be a decent little punt for them 3 games in the lead up to November. Lead up to the World Cup. Just an option. Villa don't look great. United, they're looking better. They're getting there, I think. Maybe. Not quite there. I think they've got possibly the ability to put some teams to a sword. I reckon they could probably turn Villa over and Fulham. Be interesting to see. But yeah, he's one who's snuck onto a little bit of a list.
Did you see that game on Thursday, Man United against Nicosia? And the goalkeepers saved about 12 shots.
I seen the stats for something like that. They had about 30 odd shots, didn't they? Until McTominay snuck one in right at the death.
Yeah. He got like a 9.8 rating, the goalkeeper.
Unbelievable. But yeah, just one who's stuck on my list as well. Doherty, he's back on my little watch list. Cheap, played quite well last couple of games, so and he got a lot of Conte love at the end when he come off, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I want Edison in a few of my sides. Obviously, Kepa's doing a great job at the minute, but I do want to try and get across Edison. Just so expensive.
Do you not? I was going to say, do you not think he's too expensive?
Yeah, he is.
Banging the points in.
I mean, yeah, at this moment in time, but them November games for Chelsea, yeah, they might be a bit tricky them ones for any clean sheets. But if he puts in a performance like he did against Villa, there's nothing going past him, is there? So, yeah, that's about all.
Hey, Tony, we haven't even discussed your best team yet.
Oh, no, mate.
You must be on cloud 9.
Yeah, 9th in the world, or the UK and Ireland, whichever.
Well done, mate. Well done.
We are
far off the top.
No, what's it been? 19 points off the top. We're going for it this year.
Must be over the moon, mate.
It's after I promised that party for all patrons, isn't it? Promise a party, that's it. It's it's going good. It's going good. Just obviously the advice we give out on here is going to be the same thing. Slow and steady. Make the right decisions. Keep ticking away. Hopefully we're in that position, similar position. Come the World Cup and then a refresh with a unlimited set of transfers. I noticed my budget up there is quite high as well. I only looked at, say, the top 15, 20 teams, but just had a quick flick. But my budget's quite decent compared to others up there. I know there's some that are on like 56, 57 million, whereas my budget's like 61 and a half, I think mine's at. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's even got my missus watching football games, so that's when you know there's something special happening. So...
She'll be asking for a new kitchen like Fergie's missus.
Oh, yeah, she's already spending it in her head, I can tell. I mean, she cheered the Foden goal. Obviously got disallowed. And then when Salah scored, she seen me fist pump and I'm happy about that. She went, Like, she was looking at me like, you're a City fan, what are you on about? I'm not a City fan, I'm not a City fan. But yeah, I just said that's good. There's a few City blocks up there, so it were a decent goal. That Salah goal, really. But yeah, it's. I think we've got a couple of lads in the Discord, haven't we?
Yeah,
up in the top 100. So I think that makes three 3, maybe 4 of us up there. So
Aman's up there. Aman Tatler's up there as well, isn't he?
yeah,
Yes.
Connor Tobin flying as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a good start. Good start for the group. Let's keep cooking. And talking of leagues and leaderboards, the Dream Team Tonic Cash League game week 10 is the cash week as well. I don't think I said that on the last pod, but this is the cash week. Highest score
You're
this
not winning
game
that
week.
as well, are you?
Well, I won the first one on game week 5, didn't I? I'm going to start thinking this is a fix. But yeah. So the top 10, James, Dream Team Tonic Cash League. That's a fire away, mate.
Yeah. So in 10th, we've got Debbie Does Dallas by Wayne Foster Crouch. In 9th, we've got Tom Brinley.
Oh, whoa, hold on. The Cash League. We're reading the wrong league out here.
Oh, apologies. Sorry.
Go on, mate. You're all right.
Yeah.
We go again.
in 10th, we've got Graham Payne. In 9th, we've got Lee Hooper. 8th, Andy Kirkham. 7th, Leo Reed. 6th, Harry Jones. 5th, Leo Reed. 4th, Tom Brinley. 3rd, Lee Hooper. 2nd, Leo Breed. And at the top, Anthony Sutcliffe.
Gets in.
Whee.
Finally put the right team in a mini league. Yeah, happy days. Flower pot man there. Nearly into the bronze position.
Flying
high as well. Another top player. Right, the DT Tonic Patron League. Top 10, Ben.
Yep. In 10th place, Wayne Foster Crouch. 9th place, Tom Brinley. 8th place, Connor Tobin. 6th place, Stephen Tuke. Joint 6th place, Martin Bratley. 5th place, Barry McCormack. 4th place, Jake Bevan. 3rd place, Steve Broughton. 2nd, Lee Ooting. And 1st, Brian Blackett. Snotting Lisbon's still up there, number 1.
Yeah. 666. Not a good sign, Brian. Yeah, fair play. Still flying high, Brian. Good stuff. Quick update on the Differential League. The scores at the end of last month. Ben's took the lead on 42 points. I'm in second with 38 points. The Community's in third on 22 points. Fergie's on 9. And James, you're on 8 points. And I know what you're going to tell me.
I'm on 8 points, but I've got Gerard Bowen, who's doing reasonably well this month.
Yeah, I
30...
think it's safe to say you won't be at the bottom, will you?
I don't think so, not at this rate. So, come on, Bowen.
If Grealish keeps getting benched, then I think I might be going first to last over a month. But yeah,
I must be doing all right with my pick, Thiago Silva.
Yeah, can't be doing far wrong with that one. You're fine, Ben, I think. Fergie's broke Skamaka.
I think he got 13 points last week, so he's not done
yeah,
too
he did.
bad.
He did all right. He's
doing all right. Yeah, still a good pick, I think.
It's just me. I'm the one with the shite pick. Yeah, that's all. That's all for tonight. A late one, a special late episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone that's listening. If you're only listening on YouTube and you do want to get involved and get a bit more content for the price of less than a coffee a month, you can sign up to our Patreon at patreon.com/Dream Team Tonic. Get involved in our Discord and all the other stuff we have on there. Take a look. If you haven't subscribed yet on YouTube, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification button as well so you're notified every time we put up a new pod. Cheers, guys. Thanks for doing a late one. I'm off to Southampton now.
Cheers, Tony.
And I will be speaking to you soon.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Take it easy.